We're recording.
Yo, what up?
What the fuck is up? What is it? Chris Processor? Was that it? Was that what fucking Tripoli put on his yeah, I think he called you. I think he put Chris Processor.
Probably. Shout out to Sam Tripoli. Yeah, man. It's one of those last names where people typically say it wrong. So,
but it's Prosser, right? That's it.
Yeah, Prosser. Super easy, but yeah,
these fucking white people. Anyways, welcome back to another episode of the Juan Podcast.
Thanks for having me.
I am here with Chris from Chris. Share your pod and your social media where people can find
you. You can find me at the handle below on Insta and probably Facebook and all that stuff. But then MENSA Podcast is my podcast. Check it out. It's just about pretty much dumb shit, whatever kind of comes to mind. A lot of snowboarding talk, a lot of business talk, a lot of spiritual shit, and we just kind of do it, whatever comes to mind. So similar to what you do.
Yeah, I seen you post a video the other day of, I think you were snowboarding.
Yeah. I was riding the glacier up at Timberline. It's like I don't know.
Fucking beautiful over there, huh?
Oh yeah, man, it's gorgeous. It's like this big, volcano, Mount Hood, and you can go ride there basically year round. So it's pretty special place for snowboarding. It's kind of an epicenter for that,
I've only tried snowboarding one time, and I couldn't get the hang of it because I always ski.
Yeah,
and I couldn't get the hang of turning, and then I just gave up.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where typically people say like you need to do it like 3 times, and then it kind of just clicks. Kind of weird. But yeah, that was kind of my experience. I think I went like maybe twice or 3 times, and it kind of just doesn't make sense, and then it does. It's like,
yeah, but I also couldn't feel my fucking hands and feet. I was in Colorado. It was super cold.
But you're fucking from Florida, bro, or whatever.
Yeah.
So, like, I
don't know how you guys do it, bro.
It gets cold. It's not for everyone, I'll tell you. It's like surfing, dude. That's so cold. Like, I can't figure that out. How people, not for me.
What surfing that is too cold for you?
Yeah, it's fucking like.
What do you mean, bro? It depends on if you're in fucking Florida and it's hot. You're not gonna be cold. What the fuck?
All right, dude. Don't I don't know. I don't know what to tell you, dude. It's too cold.
Jeez. And on top of that, if you wear a wetsuit, like I've gone like diving into the springs over here, which the water is, I believe, 70 degrees all year round, 75 degrees all year round, bro. That's fucking cold.
70 is cold, man. The ocean out here, bro, is like 65.
What ocean are you next to? You're talking about like on the coast, bro? You're far away from the coast, no?
The Pacific Ocean.
Yo, let me look up real quick where fucking Oregon is. Hold on.
Yeah, we're on the coast, like
on the coast.
Yeah, oh yeah, we're above.
Oh shit, you are on the coast. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Fuck me. All right, well, I stand corrected. Anyways, I thought you were like, I'm thinking about Utah and all them,
Yeah, no, we're not inland like that. We're out here. We're out here in this. Hey, Juan. The last time we talked, dude, you told me that the pigeons might be fake, dude. Do we have any new intel on pigeons being recording devices?
The whole reason, and a lot of people don't know about this, the whole reason behind Ovid 19, right?
Oh boy.
Is so that they could do a firmware update on all the birds. So they needed to get everybody indoors, and they needed to lock them down so that they could do a firmware update on the fucking birds.
Update these birds.
Yeah. I've never seen a baby pigeon. I'm sure you haven't either. So who's to say? Yeah. What's up with McAfee? What's your take on that? Because I know you're probably.
So, as far as I know, John McAfee, right? Mackey, whatever.
McAfee, Mac. Let's look it up because.
But he's the guy that did the thing that always came on the beginning of the computer, right? And then he kind of like went a little ape shit and traveled around the world. And I was trying to watch one of his the last interview that he did before he, I don't know, came up dead in prison. Is that right?
Yeah, well, he apparent suicide. These people aren't even hiding it anymore.
Do you think that that's just the new thing? It's just like we're just gonna call every time you hear suicide, you know what it means, bro. Like,
yeah, and drop the blunt. Fucking up.
Oh, God. But
So
that's just code. Like, nah, that's code for we whacked them.
well, obviously everything is about sending a message, right? And it's gotten to the point where I've talked about this. The reptilians, they're not very creative, right? So
this is the common story that we seem to find, right? There's this other thing that's like eating off of our fear, lack of their lack of ability to create, right? This is this like common story.
Well, yeah, it's and I actually talked about this on the last podcast that I had. I was on Ryan Burns' Hero Paranormal podcast, and we talked about this, where it's like a copy paste always, right? And he put it in a way where it's definitely different. The way that he breaks it down, he makes it seem like they're jealous of us and the way we interpret things, that they're not able to do that, right? Because I've always said it. I've always said, if they're so powerful and so all-knowing, right, and they seem like they're omnipotent and all this shit, that they're always like the Truman Show, they're always watching you, right? Why don't they just leave us? What do they have? What do we have anything to do with them, right? Where would they benefit from us?
Like food source, like energy.
Well, that's where you dive down the wormhole of the Matrix. I just got done watching. I'm watching the Jumanji movies, right, in sequence. I watched the original one after all these years again.
Yeah.
And dude, 1995, right? And they're hinting at alternate realities and parallel universes and the multiverse and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then after that one comes the Thor the Space Adventure. Have you seen that one?
No.
Well, it's again a board game where it sends them out into outer space, and they get fucking hunted by lizard men, bro.
Wow.
And it's like how when you work on some art for some company, right, and you start realizing like, why do they have this mountain range, or why do they have the sun here, why do they have this color, why do they have all this shit? Like I was scrolling through. And it's all about perception. I was scrolling through YouTube Shorts, which is like reels that they have now. And apparently there's a color that Disney made where it's a certain shade of green that the brain can't really process all that well. So it kind of blocks it out, right? They call it, I think, like block away green or some shit like that. Hide me green, some weird shit. But apparently Disney manufactured that green, that shade of green. And what they'll do is they'll paint their light posts and certain doors that color, so that way when you're walking around the park, you don't really register that it's there, but it's actually there. And that's fucking crazy, bro. Because at the end of the day, everything is what the Gnostics talked about. Everything is a fractal reality. And at the end of the day, what the Gnostics talked about was that we're in this realm, this false realm that was created by some demiurge. Yaldabaoth, right? The main guy, and he made a copy of the upper eons. And we're living in this fake reality. And again, like Neo, we have to either you take the red pill or you take the blue pill.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the way I put it was, I put a clip of this on my Instagram. Follow me at the Juan Podcast on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
I said the magician's stage is getting bigger and bigger, right? They're finding ways to. Back then, things weren't easily as accessible as they are now, and I think that our modern day Tower of Babel is AI, right? Technology. I think that's going to be our downfall. Every civilization has a downfall, and right for some they said the Mayans, it was like when they started the human sacrificing and all that shit. Right. And in a way, we kind of are. Like like if you think about how social media is,
we're definitely sacrificing the next generation to social media.
You know what I mean? Like that, like that's exactly what I'm trying to get at. Where, dude, like my wife wanted me to do this stupid fucking TikTok the other day, and I was like, I can't do it. It's so stupid.
Yeah, it's kind of
I don't have TikTok or any of that bullshit, but I just couldn't come to I couldn't do it. It was so fucking dumb.
right.
I was like, are we really? And like, dude, people sit on their fucking phones all day long just looking at this garbage.
You know what's the problem is, dude, what it really reminds me of is like, remember in the 80s and 90s and stuff when girls would look at like Glamour magazine, they'd be like, and there was that whole thing where like, we can't live up to these standards. And you're like, yeah, like totally. Like all these bitches are like so skinny. Like how would you, like without like puking all the time or whatever. So it's like now the whole world has Glamour magazine that's like custom fit for you. So Juan's into Corvettes, Juan's into spearfishing, whatever the fuck. And so then boom, it's just like the best Corvettes and the best spearfishing. You just sat there thinking like, oh, I'm such a cunt, dude, because I can't live up to the best in the world. It's crazy.
Yeah, no, it's like I got a Harley recently, right? And all of a sudden it was like a light switch, just boom, my fucking feet is just Harleys. I literally just got, it's not like I've been a Harley guy all my life or anything. It was just like, as soon as I got it, it was just something about it that was just like motorcycles, bikes, all this shit. I'm like, what the fuck?
Because at the end of the day, dude, they want spending too. It's a slavery based system. I think at some level due to monetary systems that we just don't know how to like navigate. Like the average person doesn't know how to navigate. The average like middle class person is like subject to, right? Whereas, people that are in the next octave or two up, it's a much different world when you don't have to.
Can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by that, Chris?
I just think that, dude, that there's levels to this shit, like everything, right? And at certain levels, like, if you're a street soldier for the mafia, it's one thing. If you're a Don, it's another, right? You know what I mean? You're not on the street pulling triggers anymore. You know what I mean? You're just collecting checks. You know what I mean? And so I think that it's funny because we find these like people that are in like the lower class or in the middle class that bust their fucking ass their whole life. Meanwhile, a lot of these people that find themselves into these, white collar criminals, so to say, right? It's like, dude, they're fucking on fucking cruise, man. Nepotism and, you know what I mean? It's a club. You ain't in it kind of thing. I don't know.
I mean, that's the way it's always been, but it's like how I talked about in my last episode too, about how a lot of people don't know about Bohemian Grove, dude.
What? That's insane.
Like I've talked to people that they don't know what the fuck Bohemian Grove is, and I'm like, seriously, the elites, bro, the elites worshiping some fucking owl god, right? That they call Moloch or whatever the fuck he is.
Yeah,
and a lot of people don't even know about that. It's like people are so, and I got off of Facebook because obviously with the political realm of things, I haven't done an episode since Trump was in office, actually, like on this show at least. And it's like people get so worked up over the same, dude, they're all playing for the same game, for the same team.
Yeah, man.
This one doesn't care more about you than the next one and the last one or whatever it is. And people get so worked up on just like symbols and it's like a fucking cult. Like it's a cult worshiping. And the last episode, obviously I had a hiatus because I had some family issues and all this shit that happened. And the last episode I made was COVID-19, the new religion, because it's like we're worshiping this thing that we can't see.
Mm-hmm.
We know it's there, right? Because they tell you it's there, and then you see people. It's like a religion. It's like, why do you believe in God? Well, I feel him. Well, where do you feel
crazy,
him?
Dude? Like this whole thing is becoming, it's totally politicized, and for sure. And it's like, it's doing nothing other than dividing people too, especially with like.
Did you see the latest?
Creepy Joe like whispering on the news to people. Like,
did you see the latest? That they're going to be going door to door for the people who have not been vaccinated. And I think you have Fauci saying that there's two Americas. There's the vaccinated and unvaccinated America.
Right, because it's the beginning of fucking Nazi Germany. Sounds a lot like it. I mean,
I think it would be too. I think here in the never say never, right? Never say never, because I'm pretty sure that the fucking Jews in Germany never thought that some crazy shit like that would ever happen, right? Where they would gather up millions of people and kill them and do all this horrific, horrific shit. Which, by the way, a lot of people don't believe in the Holocaust. That's fucked up. But hey, whatever.
I don't know about fucking anything, man. I could tell you, I wasn't there for none of it, dude. So I can't really tell you. I can tell you, I read a book and it said that this thing happened. I can tell you that all day. I could tell you everything that it says in.
You know what's fucked up, Chris? That
it's weird, dude.
You say that
totally just like. Ugh.
But you say that, right? That it's only, and I'm not denying that the Holocaust didn't happen. So in case anybody takes it that way,
no.
But you say that, and that's so fucking true, because I've always said that they could right now say that somebody or one of our ships got bombed somewhere overseas. Easy. I have no fucking way of verifying that. Totally. There's no way I can verify that information. So if they drag the country into a war because something popped off in the Middle East for whatever reason, I don't have a way to verify that. So yeah, it's crazy that you say, yeah, well, I saw some pictures and they told me that it happened.
Yeah, man.
But guess what? You can't verify that it happened or not.
Yeah, man. I wasn't there for none of it. I wasn't there for Vietnam. I wasn't there for Bay of Pigs. I wasn't there for Hiroshima. I wasn't personally there for any of it. I mean, there's recounts in history from letters from people that were on these boats that, you know what I mean? So I'm not saying that like everything is not what it seems, but also like at the same time, like I don't know, dude. I'm pretty sure now that I'm like a little older and I'm thinking back about the teachers I had when I was in school, dude, they were fucking dummies, bro. Some of them were straight up dummies. And I guess it's great because, you know, a hammer hammers nails and it doesn't do much else well, you know what I'm saying? But so I guess that's good. You know, like your math teacher does math and shut up and teach these kids fucking second grade math. But also it's like, I don't know. You just kind of wonder where, like, I wonder why everybody's has become so politicized and feels like okay in this generation with being like on an extreme team kind of thing. It's like, dude, I think just the opposite, dude. Like, I think that, you know, just the middle path is probably the way, you know, look around with an eyeball that like tries to find where things are good and where are bad. And, you know, not everybody can be right and not everybody can be wrong, dude. The answer is usually somewhere in between. I just think that like, and it sounds super corny and everything. It's like, I think that kindness is like probably, you know, the path, and like judge people by the fruit and all that kind of shit. Not to sound like biblical or anything, but it's like pretty fucking simple. I really don't know where the whole argument and the whole like questioning everything comes from, bro. It's like Fauci, like, dude, the WHO, like Bill Gates, like what? Like why is he the biggest landowner in America? Like, why is he trying to take care of all the seeds? I don't know. Let's look into stuff. Like it's a weird, like the whole Tartaria red brick thing. Like we've been here, dude, before.
Whoa, hold on. Before you get into all that, I just want to say one thing. This is by Ronald Reagan.
Yeah.
The 9 most terrifying words in the English language are, I'm from the government and I'm here to help. Take this free vaccine. I would literally, I got into an argument with my family because I said, I would literally not even do check out the new fucking Sasquatch.
Yeah,
fucking
nice.
I would quite literally shoot heroin into my fucking body, then take the vaccine.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I recently learned that it's not even FDA approved.
No.
Dude, I didn't fucking know that.
I've just talked to a bunch of people whose like friends or wives or brothers or sisters all work in medicine and hospitals or nurses or whatever. They ain't taking the shit. So what the fuck is you trying to sell me? Why is they trying to sell it so hard? First it was like, whatever, right? And then it changed from novel coronavirus to this, and the name keeps changing, the rules keep changing.
Yeah, you got variants now.
So,
But it's because I told you they gotta get everybody back inside because the firmware update they did on the fucking birds didn't work.
bro, your pigeon theory is so sick. I love it.
When you see them resting on the power lines, who do you think was the first one to invent the wireless charging?
So what do? They fly around and then they like just pick up info and then they go and they like and then the supercomputer understands and then like,
yeah, bro, it's all connected. It's all, what's that one movie with?
That is the illest theory ever, dude. Like, if
wasn't it in Resident Evil that one? Is it Resident Evil the evil computer or no?
I don't know.
One of those movies has an evil computer, right? You know which one I'm talking about? What the fuck? Damn, I'm trying to think what movie that was.
2001: A Space Odyssey.
No, not that one. I know that one. One.
That's an evil computer, though.
Yeah, what was his name? Sam? Hey, what are you doing, Sam?
Hal.
Yeah, Hal. No, but when he's talking to the astronaut, was the astronaut's name Sam or some shit?
Yeah, some shit.
It's like, no, where are you going? And he's like, unplugging him. He's like, no, please don't.
Well, it reminds me of Ex Machina, where it's like this computer that you're perceiving as a female understands how to be perceived as a female.
But that's different, right? Because they sexualize that one,
right?
And we're sexual in nature, bro. We need to be sexual because we have to. Dude, if you break down animals. The only thing, the three things animals need: sometimes shelter, food, and water, and reproduction. Right?
The only reason that they know to be here, the only thing that they know, right? I think it goes into like a mineral, plant life, animal consciousness, super conscious potentially, or whatever, omnipresence or whatever. I think there's like a line, dude. And minerals don't know fuck all, they just minerals. But there is some plants that do have some sort of like consciousness, right? Some of them, right? So there's that. And then you go to animals, and animals you can clearly see there is some that just seem to be doing their thing, but what that really is you not being able to perceive them. There's a sparkle in those eyes, dude. When you call their name, they can choose to come to you or not, right? There's something there, dude. And I just think, I don't know.
Well, next one. What is mycelium, bro? That is a network, a neural network where plants are able to talk to each other.
Yeah. So what's the next one? So mycelium looks like the way that it links up looks like the human brain, which looks like when they zoom out the universe. Yeah. Dude, fucking amazing, bro. Anybody that doesn't look around and go, this shit is absolutely incredible in every direction, from the most minuscule thing you can get your hands on to the largest thing we can see. It's beautiful in every direction, which is, I was on a podcast the other day. My family thinks I'm crazy. Shout out to those guys. And he was giving me the definition of the word beauty, I think it was. And it was or the definition of time. Was beauty like unraveling itself? Like that's what time is? Some shit like, I don't know. I'm probably misquoting it, to be honest, but it fucked me up. I've been just thinking about it. It's like, that's what nature is. At every stage, it's like this unfolding of universal math. It's fucked up. You can't.
It's sacred geometry.
At every level, inside of built into everything natural.
What is that? Like, see, it's Metatron's cube. You see that? It's sacred. Yeah. Everything flows through that, bro. Everything.
That's my buddy's logo. He's a hip hop guy. Kenny Ozier, Pollux Willow. Shout out.
So, what were you gonna say about the red bricks and Tartaria and all that shit?
I just think we've been here a long time. I think we've done this many times, and what I mean by that is I think civilization has come and gone many times. And I just think that there's a lot of evidence for it, clearly, all over planet Earth. But I think that there's been other really high civilizations, like what Graham Hancock and all these guys are espousing, dude. It's like, and it seems to coincide with meltwater pulse 1AB or whatever the fuck. They can map it out. They're Göbekli Tepe is like 50 times the size of Stonehenge, So I think that all of these things could have been, and there could have been a global civilization, one, very easily, but I think that many times could have happened before the one that we find ourselves in now, and there seems to be a lot of evidence for it. I don't know, fuck.
Well, that's
techniques is how the fruits, you can tell them by the fruits, right? So you can see like the red bricks are fucking everywhere. So was that us? Did we build all of those? because there's not a lot of evidence for all the factories. Maybe I don't know. I can't. I'm an idiot.
Well, it's like the World Fair, right? That
Dude, so suspect.
All those World Fairs, and there was various of them. There was a lot of them.
A lot of World's Fair, a lot of fires.
Dude, it blows my mind. It blows my mind that literally, and that's what, and I've always said that Nikola Tesla did have some sort of Tartarian knowledge, and by Tartaria, the Grand Tartarian Empire, and the Phoenicians, like all this craziness, bro, that we are taught otherwise. We are taught otherwise, right? Because it's like in George Orwell's 1984. They refuse to be wrong. So they will literally go back in time and change. They will change whatever text or article, whatever that they said, to make it fit what they're saying today, even if they said something else. And dude, that's happened. What happened with Trump when he said that one word and they changed it? They changed the lettering or the definition or something like that to make him be wrong.
This is exactly what I'm saying, dude. It's like, to what lengths would the powers that be? These are the people that are writing the book, literally. So it's like, to what length would you go? Now, all roads lead to Rome, in my opinion, too, dude. So
I've heard that. I mean, I've heard a lot of people on podcasts talk about that shit where Rome never did die, right? It just rebranded, like the Nazis. The Nazis rebranded. Come on, Wernher von Braun. He put us on the moon, dude. You know, he literally put us on the moon. A Nazi.
Can we do? I tried to do this with my buddy the other day, or maybe it was Tripoli. Shout out to Sam Tripoli. Rapid fire conspiracy, dude. Like, cause I'm interested. Did we go to the moon? Like, I want to hit you, dude. Did we go to the moon? Yes or no? Quick, you got 30 seconds. Go. Cause I got another question on deck next. You know what I'm saying?
Did we go to the moon? No.
Okay. Hollow Earth.
I believe yes.
Flat Earth.
No. It's like TikTok. It's so stupid. I can't get behind it, bro.
I love this shit, you know, but some of the theories are so crazy, like the Antarctica theory, Mount Meru, Tartaria, you know, this free electricity, like so many of these things. It's like they're all.
But we know, we know. For example, when you said free electricity, we know that the air has energy in it. What is lightning? 100. What are the aurora borealis? What is all that? That's energy in our atmosphere. But guess what? Again, just how the divine experience of achieving divinity, of going to quote unquote heaven, Valhalla, wherever it is you want to call it, right? You need to go through us. You need to pay us a membership fee. You need to fucking pay us to come to our church. You need to give your tithings up, right? Why? Oh, guess what? He's not going to be happy if you don't give up that 10% or whatever it is. You got to give up that 10%. Like, dude, look at Scientology, bro.
Because it's just a big money racket, right?
It's the biggest scam in the world.
Well, I just think that, like, the Catholic Church, any of them, name any of them, and I'm not shitting on any of them, because all of them have a good Tootsie Roll center, but they're all cunts on the outside.
Because it's part of the game, the black and white checkerboard. They have the yin and yang. They have to do good as much as they do evil, right? What they do behind closed doors, like the Knights Templar, it was so secretive what they did, but they had giant buildings in the middle of cities, but everything that they did in secret, right? Everything that they practiced, they did in secret. Like, hey, we're the Knights Templar, but you can't know what we do behind closed doors. And what were they doing behind closed doors? They were fucking each other, right? And worshiping Baphomet.
Right, black magic.
They were doing all sorts. They were kissing each other's asses, sodomy, all types of stuff, right? You had to kiss the Grand Master's dick to be part of the Knights Templar or whatever they wanted to do to you. Dude, that's history. And maybe, and I've heard the argument that maybe some of them, right? Just how if you have a group of people, a lot of them, you might have the bad apples, right? You might have the bad apples that get in there and spoil the rest. but it still doesn't change the fact. Come on, man.
Wow.
It's like how right now what's going on with the and again, I thank you for your service if you're in the service in
All
whatever
day.
armed force, but what's happening in some of these places where people are going missing, they're getting murdered, and all this shit.
Wait, Juan, stop. Rapid fire. We're going back to rapid fire, bro.
Go ahead.
Giant in Afghanistan. Did you hear about that one?
What? When was this?
Recently, they were talking about military people. They were talking about giants. What excuse me? What do you think about giants? At one point in time?
Yeah, 100%.
Midgets, elves.
100%. That's been proven. It's been proven that not midgets, but it's been proven that there was over what, like 20 species or 12, some number of species of Homo sapien, right? Like some form of Homo sapien
species, like Denisovians and
yeah, exactly. So why would it be far fetched? And again, it's in these ancient scriptures, right? Okay. You have the Nephilim and all this shit.
So dinosaurs are fake.
No, fuck no.
Space is fake.
No.
They change time.
What do you mean?
Did you ever see a lot of these Tartarian people say that the eye is supposed to be a 1 in time? And
yeah. Yeah, the Jesuit monks that they were supposed to change all these maps, and they were supposed to put an I for in the year of our Lord or some shit like that, and they put a 1. So everything is off.
They added 1,000 years, right?
Yeah, I love that. I can get behind that because I forget the guy's name, but there is a whole series of books on it where he breaks down time. Fuck, I forgot the name of it. But anyways, I can get behind that.
Santa Claus, mushrooms, religion.
No, I did an episode on that. No.
AI is from another dimension and it's giving us information. Something from another dimension.
I feel that it is a modern day Tower of Babel, and we're peeking through the veil, and we're making antennas that these other things are able to broadcast themselves here.
Aliens, pretty broad. Sorry.
Yeah, I can get behind, but here's the thing, dude. And as of lately, I did my podcast with Ryan. The way he breaks it down, check this out. The way he breaks it down is, and it kind of messes with you, right? Because you got the skinwalker, you have the Wendigo, you have all these different forms of like boogeymen, right? Like interdimensional boogeymen, pretty much.
Okay, yeah.
But the reason that they're able to get to that form is by giving up something. So in order to become a Wendigo, you have to like kill people and like sacrifice motherfuckers and like eat them and stuff. The same thing with the skinwalkers, right? It's like, again, like a magician. They're able to practice black magic, but what are you willing to give in order to have these otherworldly powers, which sounds a whole lot like making it like a pact with the devil or like demons? Because a lot of people don't. What they fail to understand is that demons have power as well, right? And every demon has a certain power, and if you if you want to call them demons, right, because they can be interpreted as a lot of things, they can give people powers, right? And this is why people fall for this type of stuff and the occult and dark magic, because they see like, oh, look, I made a pact with a demon or a blood ritual or whatever. But what are you giving up in order to what? Like the other day I came across like some articles, or I forgot what the fuck I was looking at. Oh yeah, I was looking at board games. Check this out. I was looking at board games and it came up with this
Illuminati board game. Sorry.
No, it was a Goetia.
Ooh, wow. Weird.
Goetia board game, and it was creepy. I was like, what the fuck? It was King Solomon's Lesser Key, the Goetic demons or some shit. And the board, check this out, the board game was you needed to make pact with the demon, I think 72 demons of Solomon. And the fucking board game was that, bro. And I was like, what in the world? And so I looked up Goetic, and it's just a bunch of demons, and every demon has a certain power that they're able to show you or give to you or whatever. I'm not into that type of shit, but it is crazy. And again, who was it? I think it was, I don't know. I think it was Aleister Crowley, that piece of shit, where he talked about how demons aren't anything other than your psyche, right? If you manifest something,
it's all placebo.
Yeah, but I believe in the law of attraction. I believe, dude. I've manifested things before, so
dude, fact.
I've like I said on this last podcast, I manifested the biggest fish I ever caught till date. And I caught it all on camera. It's the wildest shit. The whole entire time from the prior day, bro. From the prior day, I had been talking. I was with my friend, my one of my good friends, Joe. He can vouch for me. The entire time, and he was there. The entire time, the day before, we were just talking about, oh, I want a fucking giant. I want the big. We're gonna have a killer day tomorrow. We go out on the water. We start slaying them, bro. From the beginning, I was like, and in the video, you hear me. Yeah, I just want a giant. There's a giant out here. There's a giant out here. Boom, bro. I just leaned into but I manifested that fish. And all the other times you had been to that lake, if you're negative the entire time, that's why dude, now I've changed the way I talk. If I'm thinking something negative, I don't say it.
Yeah.
Right? I don't say it. Like, for example, like, hey, you need new tires. Your tires are bald. It's fucking raining here. I'm not going to tell you, hey, you need new tires because you're going to fucking crash and die. No.
Right. No.
Hey, you need new tires. It's not good to be driving on bald tires like that.
You know, that's
you know what I mean?
To like the monkeys, the monkeys, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the same thing. It's like thoughts, power, action, or whatever they say. Thoughts, mind. I don't know what it is.
Some shit.
But you know what it is? It's like the trifecta. It's like of perception, right? And like spitting it back out to the universe. You want to do that in the most positive way you can, essentially.
I'm 100% behind that idea, and 100% behind the idea that these ancients, right? These ancient civilizations, these ancient Tartarian, just how we talked about the AI being demons, just how we are creating these antennas. I believe that they were able to make themselves antennas and able to be able to because in the Bible it says, right, you about false idols, you make sure that if your idol is to be carried, right, like a statue and all this shit. Why? Because what a lot of people don't know is that astrology, the whole signs and all this shit, that used to be for demons. They used to use it for demons, and they used to be able to cast demons into inanimate objects such as statues and different things, and they would be able to prophesize to whoever was doing this. And that is why, dude, the Egyptians, they quite literally, and a lot of different religions, like there's some people in India that the statues to them were the actual gods. The statues to them was the actual entity or deity or whatever to them. That's why when you go when you see Egyptian statues, they have the nose broken off, the right arm always broken off, because when they would go to rob the tomb, that person that was robbing it was more than likely participating in the belief of that deity. So they would suffocate the deity by knocking the nose off of it. So the deity, the statue, can't breathe. Exactly. So if you look, bro, it's fucking what? So, but where does it begin? That's why I always say every conspiracy theory has some little nugget of truth, and it's because I believe back then, they were able to cast these demons into, and the Bible says if your idol needs to be carried around, a fucking statue, right?
It's weird, dude, because it's like pagan in nature, but it's like more spiritual at the same time, right? It's like it's like kind of both ways, right? It's more pagan that you're like worshiping trees and you're worshiping all these different aspects of
that's what being pagan is, right? That's like Wicca. What do they call it? Wicca, where you worship nature and shit like that. Because and I could get behind that. I don't know if you've seen the show Hellier. Have you seen that yet?
What's it called again?
Hellier.
No, I don't believe I've seen it.
Dude, check it out. It's got to do. It's on Amazon Prime. And it's pretty much about that. They start investigating some goblins, and then it goes downhill from there, dude. You know when you want a show to go a certain place and they go there,
Yeah.
Well, that's what happens in that show. You go, holy shit! Like they went there. They went where I wanted it to go.
It's
And
wild, spicy shit.
yeah, towards the end, it's spicy, bro. It's like, okay, I could get behind this.
Crazy.
Yeah, it's crazy. And so what I was saying earlier, like I started watching Jumanji and all that stuff, and it's got to do with the Matrix and this dual reality. And when I talked to my friend Ryan about the Skinwalker, let's get back to the Skinwalker.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
How they have to give something up. So I've been teasing at a trip to go to Skinwalker Ranch territory, right? Because I want to see some fucking aliens and some bulletproof werewolves. But the way that all these ancient alien shows, they make it to where it's like actual little green men, and they're in their little saucers and Hollywood type stuff. But the way that Ryan breaks it down, what I love about it is that for him, Bigfoot is like an interdimensional, more of a spiritual and harmonic, right? So when you're in that area, he told me, he said, hey, you have to sage, you have to make sure that nothing follows you home. You're giving up a piece of yourself in order to be able to peek through the veil to see these things. That's fucking scary. I don't want to do I want to give up a piece of my soul to see a Bigfoot? That's a pretty good deal, but I don't know if I could do it. You know what I mean?
Good, bro. Peace to Bigfoot, man. Peace to Bigfoot, bro. Go out there, do your thing. You know what I mean? I'm not, well, you don't tread on mine, I don't tread on yours. You know what I mean? We keep it kosher.
So I haven't talked about it on this show, but I took a few weeks back. I took a trip to the Smoky Mountains, and I went fishing.
Cool.
Right? I went fishing in the national park. There was no phone service. It was just me and the guide, and we fished for I think it was like 4 hours, something like that. And it's beautiful out there, bro. It's real calm. All you can hear is the stream, right? Yeah. I'm just fishing the shallow water for some brook trout. And obviously, if you're fishing with a guy for 4 hours, you're gonna do small talk and shit. So I started talking to the guy. I'm like, hey, bro, so you ever seen Bigfoot out here?
Yeah, come on.
Bro, and he like looks around, he goes, somebody tell you something? And I was like almost like if somebody put me up to it.
Nah, come on. He does that to everybody. He's got to do that.
Listen. So he's like,
that's his thing.
I've seen Bigfoot.
Get the fuck at. All right, word.
I've seen him 5 times. 5 fucking times, bro. Not once, not twice. 5 times.
Okay. Well.
And I was like, holy shit. He's like, yeah, I seen him one time, like sprinting like a running back, just like behind a deer. And I was like, that was a bear. He goes, no, it was Bigfoot. But check this out. The reason I can believe him and get behind that idea is because when I got out of that area, it was like I was energetically charged. I was like I wanted to take my shoes off and just walk around barefoot to to ground myself, right? Like it's crazy. Yeah. And after I was done fishing there, I kept having like these synchronicities happen to me after the fact. Like, for example, the freakiest one and the last one, I think, was that it was in the morning. I was getting ready, and my phone kept blowing up. Like, somebody kept fucking calling me, like, boom, boom, boom. I'm like, yo, who keeps calling me? Mm-hmm. And I would deny the phone call. I'm still getting ready. Deny the phone. I'm putting on the final step, putting on my shirt, and my phone goes off again. And I put on my shirt that's Samsara, and it's got a picture of an owl on it. And Samsara is a service that I use for GPS tracking on some assets that I got, right? And so I put my shirt on. Yeah, so GPS tracking. I put my shirt on, and for the 4th or 3rd time my phone was ringing, I was like, man, I want to see who the fuck this is. So I pick up the phone. It was Samsara calling me to give me to offer me a promotion that they were having. Bruh.
Do you think
what are the fucking chances, dog?
Do you think that's like a lot of people think that like the universe is like synchronistic, like when you're on the right path?
Well, I don't know what the right path is, but 100% I could get behind the idea that there is some sort of vibrational frequency that you can get in tune with, right?
Yeah.
But I don't believe, obviously, and I'm not saying, don't take this the wrong way, but what interprets good and bad, right? There
is no, like, from a cosmic perspective, right? Like,
there's not.
I mean,
but obviously, don't hurt people. Don't be a piece of shit. Don't hurt children, right? Don't do anything.
I guess, like, you don't have. I mean, I don't think it's a good idea to hurt anyone. Which
don't be a piece of shit.
Yeah, which goes for, but it gets slippery when you get down. You're like, should I eat meat? You know, I don't know. Are deers here? For
Absolutely.
Me? You know, it gets slippery. But yeah, I hear you.
I think everybody should eat meat. It's fucking delicious.
I agree, but the problem is, you know, there's the cunts among us. They fuck it up at every level. They fuck it up at the meat level. They fuck it up at the banking level. They fuck it up at every level. And I think the question is, again, to stay on the conspiracy tip for this podcast, at least, is like, who is that and why? Who, what, where, when, and why of the story? You know, the who is kind of a mystery. We know there's a bunch of these assholes. The what is, well, they're ruining everything. The when is here and now and in the past and probably in the future too. And the why is, I don't know, because they're cunts. I mean, because it makes them divide more, bigger.
That's what we're getting. That's what we're trying to understand, because how you're saying the why. And I said this. I go, the magician's stage gets bigger and bigger and bigger. His audience grows wider and wider and wider, and the way that they're able to captivate people in to what it's like, it's sigil magic, bro. Like simulacrum and simulation. Right. If at the end of the day, just how I believe, how you said all roads lead to Rome, all roads lead to Egypt, because at the end of the day, who do we worship? Fucking, is that you?
Yeah, sorry, it's done now.
I was like, is there a bomb going off in my room? So, at the end of the day, just how the Egyptians would literally take their statues as literal entities or deities, we worship politicians, bro. Politicians. Elon Musk. Remember, you sent me a message of what happened with Elon Musk. Well, what happened with Elon Musk is that he's a fucking billionaire who wants to manipulate everybody and has the power to and will do it. So he's moving markets with his tweets, with words. And at the end of the day, simulacrum and simulation.
What is that? Just you got to remind me of that. I'm sorry.
So simulacrum simulation is Jean Paul. I don't know how to say his last name. Is a French guy. Yeah, he was a French philosopher, and what he was talking about was that just because right here on this beer there is a picture of an eagle, it does not make that symbol an eagle. So just because you see a picture of Jesus Christ, it does not make that Jesus Christ. Just because you see a statue of Jesus Christ on the cross, that is not Jesus Christ. But people will find that sacred, right? They'll be like, oh, you have to respect it. But it's not the thing. It's just something that you perceive in your mind to be it, right? It's a hollow image. It's nothing. It's a symbol.
False idols kind of idea?
Kind of. And
it's like there's no power. There's no reason to. It's not it. It's not
eggs, but people will. Again, they're sheep. They will follow it, and
every time.
He also, we talked about animals, right? We talked about how animals, they're just here for one thing, for reproduction. Animals, when they look at a globe, there are no borders to them. They're just here to survive. They're here to lions eat things with their faces,
bro. Right? Their fucking face, bro.
And
it's like here again. It's like you judge them by their fruit. Lions, lion. Bird's bird.
Yeah, it's a lion, right?
And the weird thing is human's human.
But here's the thing, dude. Animals, they haven't lost it. When man comes in, they take territory.
Yeah.
Right. They take. Animals from the beginning had nothing to lose. Right. So I forgot where the fuck I was going with that idea, because it's I have to read up on it again. But anyways, it's the idea that animals, the only thing that they do what?
Simulacrum. Okay, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, simulacrum and simulation. So at the end of the day, animals, they lost territory. That's why they're aggressive towards like humans and shit like that. But I forgot where I was going with that. But anyways, yeah, it's fucking wild, bro.
Interesting stuff, man. I don't know. It's like, again, it's like the who, what, where, when, and why, right? It's like we seem to kind of go back to all these things. And, you know, is it that humans are just so inquisitive that we're always just like asking about these like conspiracy theories, mostly in this case? Is it that we distrustful of the powers that be for good reason? Is it that there is some nefarious shit going on here? You know, like I'm just interested in the whole thing, bro. Like, to be totally honest, like, again, where does one start and one stop? You know, like history can pretty easily be revised from what we chatted about earlier, and I think like we can both agree that can be altered. It's like, you know, there's some people out there that think nuclear weapons are fake. You know, like I don't know, I don't fucking know, dude. You know, the problem with this conspiracy theory shit is, you fucking ostracize yourself from like the regular way of thinking. But in addition to that, most of it comes true down the line. It's so terrifying, dude. That,
well,
not, you know, most of it, but there is a good percentage of it that like
you talk about
comes reality.
You talk about it coming true for months,
being revealed potentially.
So check this out. For months, what was the big thing with coronavirus? What was that? I'll put the shit on YouTube. I don't want it to get flagged. You've already said the word, but anyways.
Oh my bad.
You're good. What was the big thing? It was, it didn't come from a lab. It didn't. You know, it was just, it came from bats. It was something that jumped from bats.
Seems like
for months. If you said that, oh, you're a fucking Trumper, you're a conspiracy. What did they just talk about recently?
Might have come from a lab.
From the Wuhan coronavirus lab. It has the fucking word in the lab's name, bro. It just so happens to be in the proximity near to where the first outbreak. Come on. But no, you're a piece of shit if you say that. You're you fucking Trump, but
yeah, man.
And then they come out and it's like nothing. It's like, oh no, it might, we think it did. Yeah, from the very beginning.
That's really the problem with all of it, dude.
And what you were saying, to touch on what you were saying about why people want it always seems like that, right? Like, be against the powers that be, like in George Orwell's 1984, right? They're always watching us. They're because they are behind nefarious shit. You talked about it earlier. Yeah. Bay of Pigs, the Tuskegee experiment. How fucked up was that? How fucked up was that? Yeah, when they were giving placebos.
Tuskegee Airmen.
Huh?
The Tuskegee Airmen, right?
The one where they wanted to see the advanced stages of syphilis in men. And it just so happened to be a bunch of African American men that they were promising money and things to. And they were just giving them placebos and seeing how far they could go along with syphilis. And they were just seeing how long they would survive.
Yeah, man. And what did the CIA guy caught dosing like whole villages' water supplies with acid? And, you know, And my thing is, I can't really specifically recall like operation names and yada yada yada, but I can remember the gist of things very well.
Yeah.
And like, so
the point is, the government is shady as shit, and they will keep doing things to experiment on their people or whatever it is. Like right now, for example, what happened in Miami, bro, with that building? How wild was that? Can you imagine? You're just chill right now. You're smoking a blunt, just chilling, and your fucking house collapses on your head.
Amazing.
Can you imagine that, bro? Can you imagine how horrific that must have been for the people who lost their family and loved ones in that?
Yeah. And dude,
because why? Because they're greedy fucks that kept passing code every single year, knowing that the building was sinking. And on top of that, they demolished the rest of the building. And who demolished it? Supposedly, the same people who did the cleanup at 9/11 and evaluated the entire scene at 9/11. I don't know. And the Pentagon. But hey, we're just conspiracy theorists, right?
Totally.
It's got nothing to do with that.
No, totally, 100%. You know, the fact is, what happened to journalism in this country?
I say defund the media. Don't defund the police. They're just trying to do their fucking job. Defund the media, because the media are the ones that are responsible for everything that's fucking happened. If you really think about it, right? If you really think about everything that's happened, it's all been because of the media.
But I think, Juan, the problem is here. It's like what we're doing is we're continuing to address all the individual either problems or things that we don't understand. Because, dude, we don't really understand consciousness. We don't really understand reality. We don't really understand any of it. We could be in a fucking matrix for all we know. It's electrical signals to your brain, you know? This could be some sort of fucking, you know, what do they call those? Non-player reality. Those people could be walking around really shells. Like, we kind of don't know, again, where one starts and one stops. I think recharge by nature, fucking spread love, and fucking try to find the bastards and call them out. I mean, I'm not sure there's anything else you can do other than like go down the dark side and start worshiping Moloch yourself, you know?
So Rene Descartes, and he's the one that with the famous saying, I think therefore I am, or some shit like that. He talked about that. He talked about being a brain in a vat jar, right? We're just some, you know, like in Rick and Morty when there's one of the realities where they jump out and they're just in some fucking cryogenic. It's gotta do with that Cartesian philosophy, which, you know, it's like this dualism. You know, you have the metaphysical and the physical, and each and every single one. Just how Plato's theory of forms. He believed and he argued that that thoughts exist in their own reality, in their own realm. And when we think about a horse, we think about the perfect form of a horse in our minds, but then there are imperfect forms of that horse that we see in our minds in the real world. Why? Maybe perhaps because we're in a fractal reality, in a copy of some other universe. Platonism is the same thing. This duality, the upper eons and the lower eons. It's all it's all the same, bro. Yeah, it's all connected.
People do talk about. I've heard a lot of talk where they, you know, they're like, "You're
as above, so below," right?
Higher self, right? It's like, well, does your higher self have form? Are you one cell of?
No, I think that
at a billion times this scale.
I think that our higher form is just some light body, just how the Gnostics talked about in the upper eons. We are all each other. I am you and you are me. And when you look into what they call the watery light, right? When the angels in the upper eons look into the watery light, they see you and you see them because they are you, and everybody's just one, bro. It's fucking wild, dude. It's wild.
That just seems to make sense. I mean, nature has like circles at every level, I think. And so the biggest circle would probably be the everything circle.
Emanationism. You start with the one and you emanate out from that.
Lollipop.
Bro, dude, it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And what blows my mind is that when you think otherwise, like, you're just called crazy, right? Like, oh, you're fucking Chris is crazy. What was that podcast? My family thinks I'm crazy.
Yeah.
That's a cool name.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. That guy's awesome, man. It's funny because you're dead right. It's like any other type of thought is what is really being, I think, right now exposed with the whole situation we find ourselves in at the moment. It's like, if you don't want to fucking marry Hillary and vote out guns, and I don't know, dude, literally the other day I'm sitting having a barbecue with some friends, and this neighbor girl that we know that wears all black, tattooed head to toe, and she's like so left, it's crazy, you know, like lesbian, has a kid that is a boy but looks like a girl or whatever. And dude, do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck, dude. Seriously, do whatever you want. Just don't, like, you know, come on my lawn with any shit. Like, I'm not trying to tell you how I feel. Like, I mean, I am.
The one that called you a rich fuck?
If you want. Oh, that was a piece of graffiti that was left. I'll Instagram it. It's the best. But she was like, even like, she's like, these fucking lefties are so crazy. I was like, yo, bitch, like, what the? And it's, you know, it's hitting these people that are, you know, just as far as they go, and they're starting to go like, This ain't the way, man. So maybe there's a natural swing. Maybe it's a pendulum thing. Maybe
it's a game. It's a game of hot potato though, because communism is a radical form of
bananas
of liberal of the liberals, right?
Right.
But then they'll blame it on the conservatives and be like, no, that's a radical right thing. It's like, no, like more government involvement is a fucking radical form of what the liberals want, the left. But but again, they're playing for these teams that give no shits about what you think about them. At the end of the day, I believe it's all about laundering money, how they would pay Hillary and all these Bill Clinton, all these people $250,000 to talk. You think Hillary Clinton is that entertaining that you have to pay her $250,000? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like, what are you doing? Because they're all in bed together, right? With the whole Hunter Biden shit. Like, they just brushed that off. If that would have been Donald Trump and Trump Jr., they would have.
You mean Hunter Biden's paintings that he's selling?
Yeah, I heard something about that. What do they look like?
I don't know. I haven't Googled it, but apparently they're going for like a couple $100,000 a piece. And that seems like a really ill way to...
Oh, this dude is high as a kite when he's painting these things.
Oh, dude. He's high as a kite all the time, I'm pretty sure. You know what I mean? He's a liability, dude. When the president's son is a fucking, like a loose cannon, that's a liability. Yeah. That's a liability.
They're going to take him out. They're going to take him out. I would not be surprised if he committed suicide as well.
It might be really advantageous because before he leaks some sort of like really special, and they've only had to pay him however many million, they might need to. He might commit suicide for sure.
He might slip and fall on an orange peel or a banana peel and fucking crack his head open somewhere. Yeah, no, most definitely. And again, there's movies on this, right? Where he knows too much. We gotta what is Clinton? Is that what they're calling it?
It's literally every gangster movie of all time.
Quite literally. And it's the biggest gangsters of all time. And the government.
The Clintons, aka the government, aka the Bushes, aka the CIA, aka the biggest fucking thugs of all time.
If you want to see a good documentary, check out Clinton Cash. And that is a crazy, crazy documentary. And it talks about it follows the money where, right, for Haiti, the Clinton Foundation was supposed to donate I don't know how many billions, and they ended up donating less than 1% of it.
I'm trying to move to Florida. We're going to start moving from fucking South America in little small biplanes. And then boom, before you know it, you can be the mayor, but like I'll be behind the scenes, you know what I mean? And we'll just build houses out of money. You know what I'm saying?
It's what I tell people. The people on the Forbes most rich people, those are the people you don't got to worry about. It's the people who aren't on that list.
That's right.
Who are crazy, stupid rich that they literally can wipe their ass with $100 bills whenever they go take a shit. You know what I mean?
How many people pay to be off that list?
That's a good question,
dude. I bet you quite a bit. I'm sure.
Yeah, 100%. It's like who's above Jeff Bezos and who's like Elon Musk and all them. Like, there's conspiracy theories about crypto and how they're manipulating the market so that their friends can get in, right? Like, can you imagine being Elon Musk's friend and him be like, hey, you want to see Bitcoin crash? Here, just let me tweet this real quick. And then he just tweets it and you just see the price just go down, just crazy.
Is there like abuse of power laws, because that's like the type of thing that's like, it's so ridiculous that he can do that. And then you have all these people that, just lost all this money. It's on paper, but it's in reality too, because you can pull it out. So
yeah,
it's a real thing.
It all hurts the same.
It all hurts the same. Yeah, it's really pretty wild to think about. And then to see, I don't know if you've been paying attention like wood prices or anything like that, like ammo prices. I know you know about, but so a lot of this stuff is just, shot through the roof. And it's pretty wild, I guess the wood is kind of starting to fall here pretty significantly, but a lot of cars, you can't get fucking like, dude, they called my girlfriend, like trying to pay her fucking what she bought her car for to buy her car.
Dude.
Like, it's like, what the fuck is going on here?
The same thing with me, bro. My truck, like I could literally sell it for like $1,000 less than what I got it for in like 2018.
Right. It's like, what?
It's crazy. That's crazy, bro. It's insane. But at the end of the day, fiat currency is an illusion, just like how everything else is. And I'm not saying that there's a crash coming soon, but it can't end well, right? I mean, throughout history, whenever countries have printed money that they don't have, and in the 1970s when they took out, that the Federal Reserve didn't have to have the money backed up and they could just print freely, it doesn't end well. We've seen it time and time again where they were scooping up money in post World War I Germany and just burning it to keep warm because there was just so much of it, right?
Yeah.
That's the same exact way. That's how it is, and that's why I feel like cryptocurrencies. That's why they're always under attack and under pressure because, again, if it fucks with their thing, and by their, I'm talking about the reptilians, the elite, the whoever these people are, the archons, whatever. Because again, with divinity, it's got to be brokered. I have to make a cut of that, right? I have to sell you this what is it, snake oil? I have to sell you this, right? It's like, well, why do I have to pay you to hold my money? Why do you have to charge me an $8 fee every month for maintenance on the bank? What are you sweeping the cobwebs in my digital bank account that I don't know about, that you have to charge me some maintenance? It's all bullshit, bro. Or when they charge you for an overdraft fee.
No,
how crazy is that?
I think the whole thing is fully bullshit at some level. It's just a system that's set up that if you play the game the right way, you can fucking swim upstream and you can make it out. But if you don't play it in a very specific way, it's just the world that we live in. It's the matrix, I guess you want to call it. It's the system that we find ourselves. And it's, there's different systems. Like if we were in the fucking Congo, it'd be a much different system that we found ourselves in. It'd probably be a lot more like we could buy guns and climb up the food chain system. You know what I mean? It's not as efficient here because you're going to jail, motherfucker. Definitely. So I don't know. Different system call for different people, and different systems are different times. But the one that we find ourselves here in Western, culture, 2020 is about to go from what we used to know it to something completely different very soon. I really think we're really on the brink of AI, cryptocurrency, all coming to some weird head, and also pole reversal. I don't know.
How one of my mentors says, we are just plankton in this sea swimming with whales, and you just got to ride the wave sometimes.
Yeah.
You just got to fucking ride the wave. But dude, I think that's a good point to end it. I think this was a great fucking podcast.
Oh yeah, dude.
It's one of the first ones I do since my hiatus, and I'm ramping up again, doing episodes to start releasing them on a weekly basis again. So hopefully we can do this again soon. I can be on your show or something. And
you're more than welcome anytime. As you already know, I love chatting with you, Juan. It's always a lot of fun. And matter of fact, let's have you on soon. We'll continue this part 2 on the other. Because, dude, it's ever evolving.
Yeah.
It's so weird, dude. It's ever evolving. So we're just always looking at this thing. It's moving slightly different. It's a trip, man. So it's always a pleasure chatting with you, man.
Where can people find your stuff again, Chris, before we go and sign off? Where can people find your stuff?
MENSA Podcast, mensapodcast.com, MENSA Podcast on Instagram. That's basically everything, and then on all the platforms,
Yes, sir. And again, thank you for being on, Chris. Appreciate it.
Thank you, brother. Pleasure.